Making a short film is no small task. Even for the most experienced filmmakers, this can be a big challenge. So, what can be said for two brothers with no film school knowledge who want to make a short film from scratch with zero budget, minimal gear, and no particular expertise? Follow us as we find our way and take you on this filmmaking journey, and maybe, just maybe, have a short film at the end that we can be proud of. But before we get started, here's a little bit about us.
They're not maths questions, are they?
Am I still in position?
Yeah.
Right, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it. This probably isn't the first film I've ever seen, but it's the one that actually I remember having a reaction to. And it was a film called The Beastmaster, which is a 1980s movie about a guy that can kind of communicate with animals. It's like a bit of a fantasy setting. So that kind of made me think, I love fantasy just from this film. But I remember one scene in it, there's these like ritual guys in like sort of ritualistic garb, and they're throwing kids into this fiery pit. And I remember it scaring me so much, but I still loved the film. I just hated that scene. So that's the first film I actually remember taking in and watching, and I was probably about 7, maybe 8, I don't know, something like that. I can't remember when it came out. But yeah, that's the first one.
The first film I remember watching it comes back to about the 90s, probably 92, 93 era. But I can't remember what my earliest memory is. It's an amalgamation of 3 films. And that is The Lion King in the cinema, which I know was like 92, 93.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Jurassic Park, which was 93. And Men in Black, which might be 96 actually. So maybe, I think it's Jurassic Park, but I can't quite put them in order. But I think the earliest memory that I really remember going to watch a film was Jurassic Park in the cinema in Cornwall on holiday. And I remember going in the cinema, and because Jurassic Park was a big deal,
Massive.
and they had like teddy bears in the cinema, they had all the big posters of all the dinosaurs and the T-Rex, they had all the merchandise out, and I remember it was a complete experience for like a 10-year-old kid. I might have even been younger. That was a big cinema experience. So yeah, I think Jurassic Park is my earliest memory of really going to watch a film.
I've got a couple of examples here. So the first one would be The Elephant Man. Now I vaguely remember the film, and I was quite young, but I remember the ending made me actually physically cry, but I was a kid, and it is quite sad, so it's understandable. But the one in more recent times was a film called A Bridge to Terabithia.
I hate that film.
Yeah, you hate it, yeah, I know, but I thought there was something that I won't say anything in case people haven't seen it, but there's a scene in it and it affected me so much that I literally sobbed my heart out for, it must have been a good 10-15 minutes. And but I think it triggered something personal within me because it was quite an upsetting scene. It's about 2 friends and, you know, something happens to one of the friends. And just the way it's done made me think sometimes you don't have to show something for it to create a reaction. Like, you didn't actually see anything happen. But if you've seen it, you probably know the bit I mean. But that probably created a big reaction. Then I found as I've got older, things make me feel more emotional. So like things that are sad seem to affect me more.
So that was the trigger.
So maybe that was a trigger, yeah. Yeah, Bridge to Terabithia.
There's definitely more than one, but the biggest one that I remember really, really crying, like big time, like blubbing,
Man tears.
like actual blubbing, was the original black and white Titanic. Not Kate Winslet and Leo.
Yeah.
This was the black and white version where it focused on every family on the ship. Maybe not every family, but
Yeah.
it focused more on a lot of the different characters and families as opposed to just two people falling in love. And it was just, I must have been about 10, and I remember the film finished and I just couldn't contain this crying, and I went and found Nan, and then she said, what's wrong? I watched it on my own, and she went, what's wrong? And I said, I didn't like it, and I just hugged her, and I remember just bawling my eyes out in her arms. Bless me. And the other film is not E.T. E.T. did get me, but Cocoon. That really, again, it's,
I remember Cocoon.
yeah, these are sad emotions, but I remember Cocoon, one particular scene in it where the old man takes his wife Rose to the pool, because the pool is rejuvenation, right? But it's too late for her, she's already dead. But he tries to bring her back in the pool and it's too late. That got me, big time, yeah. So they're the two biggest emotions. And scare emotion, last one, was probably either The Grudge remake, not the Japanese version, because unfortunately I watched the remake first, Sarah Michelle Gellar. The Grudge got me, or Paranormal Activity, the first one. That I'd stick with the light on. But yeah, they're definitely the films that triggered the biggest emotion for me.
These might not necessarily be particularly good actors, but they're my favourite actors. So, Sean Bean is way up there. Love Sean Bean. Mr. Bean, good old Bean. Now I think he's quite versatile if he's given the right scripts. And he's just kind of quite charismatic. I quite enjoy watching him in any film. I also like Ben Affleck, funnily enough, but only in Batman. So,
Batfleck.
yeah, Batfleck. Any other film, he's alright. I quite like Emily Blunt. She's very good. In The Girl on the Train, she's like really plays her character really, really well. But obviously Helen Mirren's really good, and I thought she was great in Excalibur. Like, I think that's the first time I saw her in anything, and that she was really good in that. She plays different roles. She's a bit weird in real life, apparently.
That's very hard. If you ask me that, and I think of the people that immediately come into my mind, Brad Pitt instantly just pops in straight away. Love him. Love all of his films, especially his most recent, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He is amazing in that. And another one. I used to love Nathan Fillion, but that was of a time. From Firefly, yeah, that was of a time. I still love him. I just haven't watched him in ages. Bruce Campbell used to be another one, but these were all of a time, right? But I always go back to Brad Pitt. And actress, probably I like Meryl Streep. I think she's consistent. She's always good. Anything she does, she nails it. No, Meryl Streep's crap. She's too obvious.
She's seen as good in this.
Oh, I know. An actress is. I think my favourite actress, and I know you don't really like her, or you don't think she's very good, is Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh, I love her. I think she's brilliant. She's great at martial arts. She's great in all of her Chinese movies. She's not great in Star Trek. She's a bit wooden in the new Star Trek. Not First Contact. Star Trek. Discovery. She's not great at Star Trek Discovery. She's a bit wooden.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but all of her other films, I love her in. I think she's brilliant. Especially Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which is also one of my favourite films. But anyway. Yeah, Michelle Yeoh and Brad Pitt.
My ideal movie to make, what sort of budget category are we in here?
You've got completely unlimited budget.
Right, okay, so unlimited budget. I would make an epic fantasy movie like Lord of the Rings, but it would be like Dungeons and Dragons, about a group of adventurers all meeting up and then going on an adventure together. not with all this sort of weird humour in it like some of the other ones. It was just
campy ones.
the camp ones, no campiness at all. It'd be serious Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings style, but a Dungeons and Dragons adventure where they all stay together, do an adventure together, and then, you know, kill some dragon or something. And yeah, none of this splitting up nonsense and all that. That would be my perfect movie to make.
I think the perfect movie is, you know, not everyone would agree, Alien. The first Alien. So for me to make my perfect movie would be along those kind of lines. Something like a science fiction where there's a crew of people and they go on this discovery mission. They find new life forms, and what made Alien so great was they found this life form and brought it back on board, and then all hell broke loose. And I love that format in any film I watch. I love small crew, big problem. And that would be my ideal movie to make.
I've always wanted to do something creative that other people can see. So for me, it'd be good to get one of my ideas onto a film and into something real. Going through this process, especially as we've got no experience doing this, I'm going to learn a hell of a lot about making a film, and also about what works and what doesn't, what's viable and what isn't. So I think it's going to make me become more confident as a filmmaker and generally more confident as a person. So ultimately, yeah, I just want something I've created on a screen for me to see.
I really love doing photography at the minute, but what I want to get out of this entire experience, one is gaining more confidence in using my camera, but from a filmmaking perspective, and getting used to shooting video. Two, I just want to sort of test my filmmaking abilities more. Three, leaving the short film aside and actually doing this YouTube channel would almost, you know, give me a confidence boost, get me in front of the camera, sharing my thoughts with an audience. But ultimately, just me and you, figuring it out, finding our way in this of making a short film. Now you've heard a little bit about us and what our motivations are. If you want to see more and see how we get on as beginner filmmakers, then please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. But until then, have a good one and we'll see you soon.
The thing that's a little bit different about this is that he's actually a werewolf.
Go on.